Hi guys and welcome. We're going to be doing a value project today. This one was the printout for the ice cream that the printout that we had there for you on the lesson. So if you don't have a printer, don't worry. Here's another option. What you can do is get just a plain piece of paper. It could be construction paper or plain white paper, and just make some shapes. You can start off with a triangle for your cone, and you can do half circles for your scoops, or you can even use regular circles and you can overlap them, whatever's easier for you. You can go fancy and do this little edge if you want, but you don't have to. But if you start putting these circles on top of each other, it will end up looking like a cone. So you can cut them, color them in and then cut them out. It's very important to color them first before you cut them out, because then it's really hard. See, like here I started cutting it out. If I color on this, it's going to be going on the table or on another paper. It's kind of hard to keep it still and get all the edges. So it's really easy to make a mistake or get frustrated. So I would suggest waiting to cut out before you color. All right, so I want what color do I want my ice cream to be? I want you to pick one flavor and then just use that flavor for just this assignment. If you want to do your own project later with different flavors, that's fine. For this assignment, I'm going to use red because I'm going to do strawberry. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my darkest and my lightest, and I'm going to go darker. So I'm going to take this one. It doesn't matter which one. And it's okay if I go outside of the lines because I'm going to cut the edges off, right? So I'm going to go as light as I possibly can with my very light hand. See how very, very light that is? I can barely see it. It's a light, soft pink. Okay, so that's my level one. Now I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to go a bit harder, like kind of like normal. Okay. I did a little outside of it. That's fine. Now I'm going to do kind of like a medium pressure. I was using the side of my crayon before. Now I'm using the tip. I make more of a, you see how if I use the side like flat like this, it's softer. And this one, if I use the tip, it becomes harder. And I'm just like, I'm not really applying that much pressure. I'm just using the tip. Now this one, I'm going to press real hard, really, really hard. This is going to be as hard as I can really go. And I'm moving the table right now. You see that this one will feel kind of smooth. It'll have a very smooth texture when I feel it. And then the last one is going to be a little tricky. You can use a little bit of a darker color underneath, or you can use brown. I'm going to use a little bit of black because something happened to my brown color and I don't know what. Okay, so I'm going to use black underneath it. And then I'm going to use my color and I'm going to press really hard on top of it. And it's going to be like really dark. Okay, so you see these are all the same color. They're just different values of the same color. Then I need to make my cone. I'm just going to use orange because, again, I don't know what happened to my brown crayon. I think it just disappeared. So it's going to be an orange cone. Okay. So there. I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my construction paper as a background. So, but you don't have to do that. You can use plain paper. Or you don't even have to do that. But I like to have a background because it helps me. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out all my shapes. I already started this one. And a good way to do it is that I'm kind of turning my paper a little bit. Yes, I'm cutting with my scissors, but as you can see, I'm turning my paper a little, and then it starts to get a little bit tricky. So what I like to do, okay, so I've got one here. What I like to do is I kind of make them, I cut them into, this is my cutting trick. Okay, so I cut it out a little bit, like, you know, it's not really where it's, the lines are. So I cut it out a little bit, if you can see that. Okay, so it's smaller, my paper is smaller to work with. Then I just cut them into, I separate them so they're not together. I'll show you that right now. So I've separated them. They're all different, but they're not cut out. See, this one is cut out properly, but this one is not. So, but it's easier for me to work with. So if you're learning to cut, it's a lot easier to have it like this, small. It's very easy to just see how I'm turning it. And it takes a lot of practice, believe me. It's not, I mean, it's not easy to cut, but it's much easier to deal with these small pieces than it is to deal with big pieces. And then you're having to turn the whole paper. It's very hard. So it's a lot easier when you have it like this. This is so much easier and quicker. And this, don't be sad if it doesn't, if you're not as quick as me. I'm already old. So I've been doing this a long time. Okay, so there's that one. So we've done 3 and we have just a few more. We've done 3 and we have, we have 3 more things to cut. Then the next thing I'm going to do is after I cut out all of my things, I'm going to put them in the correct order. Okay. So I'm almost done here. So we've just to review. It's pretty good if you print out this little paper, it'll help you a lot, but you don't have to do it that way. You can draw your own shapes, that's fine. But the best way or the easiest way is to color them first before you cut them out, because then, let me show you right now an example. If I have to color this all over again, let me show you the back. If I have to color it, let's pretend I haven't I haven't colored it yet, okay? And I'm gonna do this blue. I'm like, I have to color, look at how it's gonna be hard for me. I have to, like, see how my paper keeps bending, and it's very frustrating. And it's hard for me to stay in the lines, and maybe I might draw on the table or paper. It's a lot easier to cut second after you've colored. And look at my smooth edges. I'm all the way to the edge. Okay, and that's why I don't mind you going over the lines a little bit. Okay. Is it okay that you go over lines? Sure. There's no one right or wrong way to do art. All about having fun and learning new things. So what we're going to do is we're going to get we have a glue. We have glue stick, or glue stick is probably the easiest. But if you have white glue, that's fine too. Again, I think my glue is somewhere here. So I'm just going to place them. There's my cone. I'm going to place it on the bottom. I'm going to scoot down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put my darkest layer, my darkest value right on top of it. So if I was using circles, it would look something like that. It would still look good. Okay. Or half circles, it would still look good. Now I'm going to take the next darkest value and place it on top. I'm going to glue these down. So I'm gluing them down on top of each other. And then the next darkest value, and then the next darkest value, and then the lightest value. So how many scoops do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is a fifth. And this is the lightest, and that is the darkest. And this is the medium tone. So let's pretend I have that all glued there. Now I want to probably draw a decoration. So let me draw, like you can do, this is where you can have like a little creativity with your fun and creativity. So see how this is moving, but right now I'm going to just draw a cherry, and I'm going to do a black outline for my cherry. And then I'm going to do sprinkles. I'm going to do rainbow sprinkles, but these aren't glued, so I have to hold them down. Oops, it's a lot easier. So there is, I'm just going to do sprinkles on the top because they're probably, when you do sprinkle on the cone, it's probably just the top that really gets it. You can sprinkle all the way down though, but mine is just going to be on the top layer. And then let me see, I have purple, I have blue, I have green, I have yellow, I have orange, and I have red. It can be little lines or little dots, that's fine. So I have all my colors there. And then you could leave it like that, or you could decorate, make a drawing around the outside, or you could just keep this glued together, whatever you like, and you're done. Okay. Have a good day.